It was the height of World War I, and Major Charles Whittlesey and his 500 men had just made a small but vital push into German territory. But when they turned around, they realized with horror that they were surrounded. The order came down from headquarters to retreat, but there was only one way out, and that was through enemy territory. So they set off through the forest, hoping to make it to friendly lines before the Germans could surround them. But as they moved through the trees, they suddenly came under fire from an unexpected source, friendly troops who had been told to shoot anything that moved. In the ensuing chaos, Major Whittlesey was shot in the leg, and when he looked up to try and direct his men, he realized with mounting horror that the forest around them was filled with the enemy. They were completely surrounded. For 7 days, the men of the Lost Battalion held out, refusing to surrender despite being low on food and ammunition. On the 7th day, Major Whittlesey sent out a plea for help, which was dropped by a friendly plane just beyond the reach of the German artillery. Headquarters responded with a daring plan. A rescue force would be sent in, and Major Whittlesey would be given an opportunity to surrender. But as the men waited for their rescuers, they faced extreme hardship. By this point, most of them were starving and too weak to fight. Major Whittlesey was especially praised for his bravery and determination. But the victory was short-lived. The emotional fallout from the battle was devastating. Many of the men who had survived the ordeal were deeply traumatized and took their own lives shortly after. When the rescue force finally arrived, they found a scene of utter devastation. When the men first realized that they were trapped, they sent out a pigeon with a message attached to its leg. The pigeon flew back and forth several times, desperately trying to deliver the message, but it wasn't until the 6th day that it finally reached headquarters. The message simply said, "For God's sake, hurry up and save us," and it was the first indication that the men had been trapped for 6 days. If Chiri Ami hadn't delivered that message, the entire battalion might have been lost. Out of the 500 men, only a little more than 100 were still alive. Of those, only 8 were able to walk. The rest had to be carried out on stretchers. Although they had lost almost half of their men, the survivors were welcomed as national heroes. But there was one other hero from that battle, a small feathered friend, Chiri Ami the hero Pigeon. To learn more about the heroic efforts of Chiri Ami and the Lost Battalion, stay tuned for more information.